No, sir, but here we have a situation where Sunil Gavaskar at that time was in the IPL governing council. There is a case, it seems, of conflict of interest because he was in the governing council on the inside, privy to what was happening. He's also advising a team on the outside. Should he not at that time have come out and been upfront and said, I am helping the Kochi team out, either at the time this was happening or at least when Shashi Tharoor came out and got into this mess? During that entire period, he stayed silent. Do you find that silence to be a little mysterious?
Slightly, definitely, but hypothetically speaking, it seems it's just not today's development. It isn't. It must have taken place some time ago. And if he says that various other franchises are also interested in his cricketing prowess, well, fair enough. There's nothing wrong with it. But how was he interested in him when he was still on the governing council? You know, this is definitely a case of conflicting interests. There is no two opinions about it, you know. But Mr. Gavaskar has had a fair amount of feel of Indian cricket and is nobody's fool to, you know, to let himself be flouted. No, he knows how to handle the bosses of Indian cricket, and on his terms, not on the terms of the BCCI. But having said that, I feel IPL is such a slimy story itself. So anybody doing these kind of slimy moves, they appear all right to the general masses. So where do you draw a line?
But given the fact that Sunil Gavaskar has always presented himself as the one person who wants to uphold the moral fabric of Indian cricket and cricket per se, do you believe he should have come out? Hear me out. Do you believe, as someone who projects himself as this custodian and guardian of the moral fabric of cricket, the least that the fans of his fans would have expected would have been for him to come out earlier and say, here's something that I am trying to do, and not staying silent till a day before this crucial governing council meeting, sir?
Yeah, I know how we like to project ourselves. So, no, let's not blame Mr. Gavaskar all along. If he's done something which is not upright, this is not for the first time, maybe. But no, the whole thing smacks of a fair amount of you know, bad blood. And I'm not at all. It confirms my belief that IPL is not something which is going to last very long.
Bishan Singh Bedi, they're hitting out at Sunil Gavaskar, calling it slimy dealings. He says that Gavaskar is interested only in making moolah. He should have been more upfront about it. He says the guilt is the same as that of Shashi Tharoor. Very, very strong words there, coming from a cricketing legend himself. Sunil Gavaskar's son and former India player Rohan Gavaskar is with us. Rohan, I want you to respond to the direct charges that Bishan Singh Bedi has made. He's calling this slimy business. He says Sunil Gavaskar is as guilty as Shashi Tharoor was.
Look, first of all, Rahul, I think, you know, there are certain things which need to be cleared up. He wasn't removed from the governing council. He was asked to join the governing council and he declined. There's a difference between refusing a post and being removed from the post. So I think that needs to be cleared up first and foremost. He declined. Secondly, a lot of, you know, when two teams were going to be auctioned, a lot of guys came up to him. They were film stars, real estate people, businessmen who came up to him and said, listen, you know, how do we go about the auction? And he said, look, he gave advice to all of them. He said, look, the thing is, it's a secret, you know, auction. It's a closed auction, closed tender. All you have to do is bid more than the rest, and you've got to take the economics into consideration and, you know, see what works for you and try and bid more than, you know, your rivals do. And that's what he told the Kochi franchisee. And fortunately for the Kochi franchisee, they ended up winning one of the teams.